Welcome back to the Fischer-Z podcast series, where, as you know, for our 50th anniversary, we've been digging through my favourite songs, all the stuff I've liked along the way, and now we're also featuring the other side of the story, the new singles, the new album, and the noise that's still being made.
Thanks, John. And as a reminder, my name is Martin Bull, and as you know, I've been helping by hosting and curating John through his favourite tracks. Well, now we're also going to look at the new singles, albums, and so much more in these special episodes. Today's episode features the single Strings.
It really hurts withholding the truth. It eats you inside. It will always come through. So much to say, voice in your head. It takes so much work. It's like raising the dead. It's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how a caged bird sings, it's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how the caged bird sings.
So welcome to this additional series of episodes of the Fischer-Z podcast series. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
So just before we get into the nub of this episode, how are preparations going for the 50th anniversary?
Oh, there's lots of things on lots of different fronts. I mean, we've got a new band lineup for a start, which changes things radically, and we've been rehearsing that. Also, I've been looking at set lists and things like that, because for the 50th anniversary stuff, there's two different waves of it. The first shows in Benelux, the sold out ones in Belgium and Holland, they will be done one way. There will be an extension of what we've done before, but with a different set lists, including a lot of stuff from the 50th anniversary. And then as we move forward to the autumn shows, to the German tours and everything else, we'll be expanding it with more requests and different aspects. But the shows in May, because they're all in one lump with no interval in the middle, they're a more set format. So that we've been doing. I mean, obviously we've been finishing up all the looking at the compilation stuff that will be coming out on Cherry Red, the first 3 albums. Having a look at that, having a look at the artwork for that, and primarily finishing the recordings and the and also the video for the new material and the reimagined tracks.
And obviously we've been doing all of the episodes around your favourite tracks. Been releasing those, but you've also been sort of obviously constantly writing as well.
Yeah, I'm always doing that. I mean, the thing is that some people, well, not just musicians, I mean, like colleagues, comedians, writers, they take a certain period of time to write something. I'm always writing and fiddling around doing. I don't have to take a space to do that. Writing things, I mean, I might not be writing songs or poems or anything specific, but I'm always expressing myself in some way, and it'll turn out in some form or not. But we've been finishing off. There's seven new tunes out on the album, which will be called X-Ray Serenade, and there are also 4 of the reimagined, which I've had great fun with because they are nothing like the originals. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it, and that's what we're finishing up with at the moment.
And are you going to share what those reimagined tracks are?
Which ones? Yeah. Oh, they're just the most famous ones because we're only going to do 4. So they're the ones that people will be most upset by me changing, essentially. The biggies, probably the most known track worldwide of Fischer-Z is So Long. And then the most successful single was The Perfect Day. And then there's Marlies. And what's the other one? Pretty Paracetamol, Unrecognisable. Yeah. Well, they need to be reimagined. I mean, there's no point. My association anyway, with anything that I really liked, you liked it that way. You don't want to hear somebody recording it the same way again. It's just bonkers. Unless you're one of the typical 80s and 90s bands that just record all their shite and put out the videos of themselves looking old on stage. Unless you're doing that game, which I've never been particularly into. I think it should be a direct reinterpretation, because a song can be done any way you like. And I just think it's done the contemporary way. Also, what's nice about that is these 4 reimagined tracks have been played by the new band. So it's also representing the new band sound.
And did I hear you say that you'd been rehearsing?
Yes, I did once, because we had to get people in, because it's such a different set, and we've got totally different people, and you've got to do it. And it's actually been quite fun. It involves a lot of eating and drinking. That's my favourite form of rehearsing. And waltzing around the rehearsal room they think I'm a record company boss because I'm old. Everybody else there there's all these young, earnest musicians rehearsing. They just come up to me thinking I'm going to give them money or sign them a record deal. But we're bringing everybody aboard. We now have 4 English band members, unheard of. Although Dave's got a French passport because he's hiding undercover in Madrid. But apart from that, so we have actually, Well, let's be fair. Chloe's actually half Spanish, half English. So she's playing keyboards now. And Ollie Newton's playing drums. He's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's Dave Purdy, right?
Pudsey, yes. Dave, Mr. Purdy, the man from Del Monte, yes.
That's a nice...
I've known him now for how long? I've known him now for the best part of, since he was that age. I was knowing him when I was about 28, so I don't know. Yeah, 40 years plus anyway. And he's playing like a demon on the new ones, on the new old ones, if you know what I mean, the reimagined tracks. Because I mean, obviously, those tracks will be more like a band sound. Basically, everybody's playing their instrument rather than overdubbing or doing something different. The other tracks are done in a totally different way. The rest of the songs that you've never heard before, of which the first one is Strings.
Okay. Well, let's get into that, actually, then, that first release of Strings.
Yeah.
What can you tell us a little bit about that? Because there's some great lyrics in that. The opening line, particularly.
Yeah. Well, it's a song about consequence, and in the current, both personal and also in the current political climate, that's really funny. It's quite relevant, I think.
So what's it about? It says, your first line is, "It really hurts withholding the truth. It eats you inside."
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the idea of in a world where facts and truth have disappeared completely, certainly from a political arena, it then leaves everybody in an extremely insecure situation. It's like little kids. If you've got no limits and you've got no rules, everybody's really swimming around. The way the world order is juggling around at the moment. Basically, it's also about karma. Things the way things actually come back to you. It's the fact life has strings. You've got everything you do, and that the funny little poem, everything you do comes back to you. Who. It's about that really, and I tried to get that. There's that kind of a lyric, but it's a pop tune. It's probably the most pop production we've done for a long time. It's deliberately done classy, and we've done the video in the same way.
Yeah, it's a very catchy tune.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, we can do it in several ways. It's quite funny. I've been working with a friend of mine. He's done the most amazing, what would I describe? Remake of it with very aggressive 80s type synths, which is very, very funny, and I'm enjoying that as well. The thing is, the way we play it live be quite interesting. I'm not quite sure how we will how we'll perform it live. I might do it with synths. I might do it completely with synths, and but I mean, I like that production. I mean, I work with Graham Bonnet again, who's an absolutely world-class engineer. Well, yeah, and it's collected together. I'm very pleased. Graham and I, we've just finishing there are seven of the new tracks. He's mastered. He's got to the stage of mastering 6 of them. And what I did with the last one, I decided, hang on a minute, it's not quite as exciting as it should be. Can't work out what it is. I thought, oh, fuck, I recorded it in the wrong key. And so I changed the key, but we changed the instruments. We bent it all. So the backing vocals sound like they're drunk. It's excellent. And the bass guitar sounds like it's a stand-up bass. And it's just all floppy, and I really like it. And we've done that. So literally last night, we're on the last one of the newies. And this next week we'll be mixing the reimagines, remixing some, the weirder paracetamols not to give too much away. I mean, and also So Long in threes. It's not played in 4/4 time at all. Nor's Marlies. So yeah, if you imagine a swinging waltz version of Marlies, then that's what's going to be coming.
Can't wait to hear that.
That's right. So I'll insist on playing it that way rather than the way people want to hear it. I'm really loving it, actually. It's in the right key.
That is so good. You mentioned the video for strings. That's obviously, having seen it, it's an incredible, different video for you in terms of you've got, the sort of acrobat twirling around, and you've got a headpiece. What was your creative thought process with that?
Well, it's the first video that I've written, produced, and edited myself. And what I wanted was a series of. It's supposed to be a poetic style video, but the idea of a series of moving black and white photographs is what I wanted to get. And the idea of obviously strings, the title. So you've got a bloody great rope at the beginning of it, which indicates the strings. And it's a tussle, really. The idea of tussle between the idea of talking about there's no truth. Things have consequences. I mean, if there's the acrobatic ballet dancer flying around on this rope, being twirled around by the lunatic underneath, it's just like somebody coming in from space and having a look at the way the world is. And obviously, so therefore, that's why I've got that bucket on my head. I shot it in such a way that it could have been a video about me with a bucket on my head, which I quite enjoyed, or it could have been, we could have done lots of movement with me twirling around, but decided we'd hint at that and work it that way around. So, and what I wanted to do something that was very classy, and that's a classy video that stands up against anything visually.
I would agree with that. Who was the lady turning on the rope?
Oh, well, she's Ruby. She's actually Eric, the manager's lady's cousin. But she's part of a troupe they're circusy type troupe, and they actually rent that church that it's in. And what we were going to do was use that it's a beautiful, colourful stained glass window. But in the end, to give it continuity, to give it class, I decided it was better to do it in black and white. And we did that. And I've got somebody who works with our organisation, John Ski Mason. He normally does all my technical backup and computers and stuff. So I can't operate the machines. I know what I want when I'm cutting a video, but I can't operate the machines. So John operates the machines and puts in his creative input, obviously, as well. But the idea of taking that from A to Z myself is something I haven't done before. And it's something I will do again, because now I can really know. I know what I'm doing for the next single and visually.
And is the plan to do a video for each of the tracks on the album, or just the singles?
No, to do that probably two. We'd probably do one other one, depending on what the summer thing is and how we decide to do that. Yeah. And also I've got backup from, I don't know if you remember, when I did the Big Beat Poetry project with Ingo Werner. Ingo's an absolute technical genius, and he's still around. He's like a consultant for us, and he's been responsible for that, for the really, really interesting dance mix? No, a real sort of synthy aggressive mix of strings. So we still, yeah. I mean, there's been several questions. For instance, there's so much faff with outputting videos and bits and pieces, and we've had a few questions about that. I don't have to worry about that because I've got the backup behind me. I'm just interested in the product. I'm delighted with the video. I must say, I'm very proud of it.
Looks really good. So, and will that remix that's been done, will that be released at all?
Probably will be, but probably be something that just fans can get. I think that because obviously it's with the Cherry Red stuff they're putting out. They'll put out their albums, they put out the singles, they put out the vinyls. But there might be just something that I'd like to do something special. It's kind of it'd be kind of a bootleg of some sort of thing. I mean, if we wanted to, we could stick it on the album. I don't know. You can stick it on the album. I don't know. It's different thing altogether. So I think do it in a different space. It's more like art punk, really. It's continuity with the punk project. Also, releasing it in not a form at all. The only release would be, say, for instance, 4 performances with a video with that track projected onto 4 buildings at one point in time. That would be an artistic way of presenting it. That's the sort of thing I like. You remember the Bill Drummond stuff and burning £1 million? I'm into performance art, as you know, rather than the straight rock and roll game, which I find really tedious.
So you teased a little earlier about changing the way that the gigs in the autumn
Yes.
of this year will go. What did you mean? Is there anything you can share with us?
Well, yeah, I mean, direct involvement of clambering over the audience, large scale ways of an interesting way of doing requests. Yeah, I mean, also a lot. The reasoning is that, for instance, especially the German tour, is throughout these wonderful old theatres. Well, that's by choice. People say, well, why? I mean, most bands go, oh, no, no, no. If they're noisy, we like people standing up and dancing. I mean, it's just absolute rubbish. When you've got, I hate small clubs. You know, people say, oh, God, it's great. Let's play 250 people in the sweaty rock club. I can't think of anything more disgusting. I always hated it. Didn't like it. In a theatre, you just have to be better than a stand-up venue. You have to be much better because you've got to generate the energy. Because people are sitting down to start with. They don't sit down for long, but they're sitting down to start with. And what I've learned from doing the Fischer-Z solo shows, you know, in theatres up to about 500, you come out, I think I've told you this before, maybe Martin, you come out with you've had your cup of tea at the back, sitting on a bench. You come out and there is absolutely nothing. People are just sitting there. There's no echo. There's no noise. It's dead because it's a theatre. And I absolutely adore that. So you can do absolutely nothing. You can talk. So obviously, again, referring to the autumn gigs, I'll talk more. There'll be more variation. I think that the Fischer-Z band shows will be more like the Fischer-Z solo shows. Not to say there won't be less music, but it'll be just presented in a more, let's see. I still see what we do as a kind of, as the indie side of entertainment, rather than just music. Especially in the current climate where we were working out how many bands don't use click tracks when they play to, and how many bands don't have stuff. If by virtue of the fact, if they've got click tracks, people always get lazy and they add things like, they add different stuff they can't actually play. Because if you've got click tracks, you're fine. But it means you're fixed to a format of a certain song. And for me, that's the biggest one of the biggest USPs we always have had, is that there's no fixed format. Because the band certainly don't know how I'm going to play it, and I don't when I've started it. So there's just no way. I mean, the lighting, we've got a fantastic lighting man called Roy, a Dutch guy. He's a genius theatre lighting man, and he just chases me like everybody else does. He just knows the kind of thing that I do, if you see what I mean. And that works. But yes, so I mean, it'll just be a slightly more eclectic type of show and a slightly more interactive type of show, but not interactive in an AI sense or in a technological sense. The great thing about those venues is most of them, then they have funny PA systems, like with rabbits falling out of them, and there's dust, and you get dead old ladies drop out the balcony during the show. That's the sort of thing I love about theatres. Not necessarily old ladies, old men as well. So we can't be sexist about this.
Absolutely. You did talk about the set list as well, about how that was going to be a sort of democratic process, or in terms of
the first half of the
audience.
show, the planning for the autumn stuff. The first half is based on request. Either we still haven't worked out exactly how yet. There's people choosing from a large list before the show, or I can always jump out in the audience and quiz somebody as to why they want me to play something, and if they can give me a good enough reason, I'll play it. And what they don't like about it. I like that. I like people being rude to me. The idea, I think that I prefer an environment that's more like a comedian. I like the battle. I like it if people are a bit abusive. Enjoy that as a performer.
Bit of heckling.
The band don't like it. I love it. Abuse. You'd be poking people. Now you've got to make, the idea of performance is that you make people think. Performance should generate brain work by somebody. I mean, I know obviously if people want to come and see, if people want to see the record and hear it like they heard, like they were when they could wear smaller trousers, they'll never get it at a Fischer-Z show, but they'll get really inspired performances of things that I really believe in. It's whether we can do so many different, we can do so long in normal, or we can do it in threes, so it's like a huge, it's like the Pogues meet Fleetwood Mac.
Okay, there's a mashup.
Yeah. It'll be done with great enthusiasm.
All right, that's brilliant. Okay, all right, John, thank you so much. This is, as I say, one of the first of some more episodes that we'll do around the new album, the new tracks and so on. So look out for those. Thanks for sharing.
No, I'm looking forward to it, Martin.
And look out for the next episode. Thank you.
Definitely. All right.
It really hurts withholding the truth. It eats you inside. It will always come through. So much to say, voice in your head. It takes so much work. It's like raising the dead. It's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how a caged bird sings. It's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how the caged bird sings. There's courage required to make things come true. Embracing the change, but still being you. Facing the fear, but still going on. Looking straight in their eyes while you're singing your song. It's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how a caged bird sings. It's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how a caged bird sings. It really hurts withholding the truth. It eats you inside. It'll always come through. It's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how a caged bird sings. It's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how a caged bird sings. It's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how a caged bird sings. It's a fact. Life has strings. No matter how a caged bird sings.
Thanks for listening to the Fischer-Z podcast series. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Keep an eye and an ear out for the next racy episode.